Just one of the first easy-to-use, premium-feeling, all-in-one multimedia players. And I'm not just talking music and video. iTunes actually used to sell games you could play on your iPod, other than those classic default ones like Brick, Music Quiz, Parachute, and Solitaire that came on your iPod video. And I've shown off how I still have a bunch of those and can still play them today. Though back then I famously said, those puppies are gone. But thanks to an awesome person on Reddit, they're back, baby! The iPod clickwheel games have always meant a lot to me, because my progression of handheld gaming oddly went from Game Boy to Game Boy Advance to Nintendo DS and then iPod Video. Just fascinated by the compactness of it all, and as I've said in the past, I was also just obsessed with TV, and by the time I had gotten my iPod Classic, iTunes was offering a small handful of games that you could buy and install to play on your iPod, and these were massive upgrades from what came pre-installed, which again, need I remind you, were Brick, the simple paddle game where you break bricks, Music Quiz, which plays snippets of your music library while you have to guess which song it is for a certain amount of points, Solitaire, the classic card game, and Parachute, where you commit war crimes. All of which are kind of giving old Windows desktop vibes. But with these new games, we are given some arcade classics, some desktop classics, and even a couple handheld classics too. All specially designed to be played on the iPod with use of its click wheel. And over the years, Apple kept releasing more and more of these $5 games, like an entire game for the show Lost, a few different versions of The Sims, and even its own RPG, before silently discontinuing them in 2011 as the iPod Touch and iPhone were taking over. And many of us kind of wondered what happened to them, because unlike previous purchases on iTunes, there was no place to find them in your account to re-download them. Thanks, Apple. And any purchase files are locked to the account that they are bought from. But being the techie that I was, I had backed up all of these games, and every now and then I would pick them up and play them. Actually, one of my first series in this era of my YouTube and TikTok was a look back on these games, which is still up if you want to check it out, and I'm considering revamping it a little bit, so stay tuned. But where did that leave the rest of you that, well, didn't back up your games?
Those puppies are gone.
Well, they were gone. Over the years, there have been attempts to crack these games,